Shalom, 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 Israel, brother Amos with the Watchman for Israel. First and foremost, as we always do, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, to the brothers who are pushing this truth in strong sincerity, laboring on the highways and byways, making their body a living sacrifice, doing all they can for the hopeful elect and for the nation of Israel, for all those who desire learning. I want to give y'all a strong shalom. To the sisters holding it down in the household, reverencing their husbands, being a teacher of good things to the younger women, and unto the children, I want to give y'all a strong shalom as well. Continue to do those good works, right? Because we're raising up that nation now, right? These young children who were born into this truth, they're seeing the way that we should have been born into and walking. And you sisters play a pivotal part in this. So I want to exhort every single one of y'all to continue in those mighty works. And to the men and women forsaking this world and coming back to serving our God, Yahweh Shem Shai, I want to compel y'all to be as a church of Berea, to search the scriptures daily and diligently to see if the words that be spoken you are true or not. Right? Let the words of Yahweh Shem Shai be true and every man a liar. Right? If it's not thus saith Yahweh Shem Shai, cast it behind you. Seek unto those who speak, thus saith the Lord, according to the holy scriptures, not according to their own belly, their own lust, deceit, beguiling people, heaping this, bring men unto themselves, right? That's the opposite of the way this truth should be moving, right? And that would segues into this topic, right? It segues into the topic of making not my father's house the house of merchant, right? So, coming into this truth, I've been in the truth for about a little over 12 years, going on 13 years, right? And seeing the progression of Israel, the more people finding out that the Israelites, the more camps. Now, 12 years isn't a long time at all. It's not a long time at all. It's a short span if you really sit back and look at it. But seeing the progression and how rapid people are understanding this truth, you can see that we're in the end times. But look at the words of the Lord. They're 2 and 2, right? So you got the spring, right? The winter is the frosting, and the snow is leaving, and it's starting to warm up. And you see the greenery coming in. That's what it was like coming into this truth. Chiefly when it peaked, in my opinion, just being in the truth for however long I've been in here, 2015, 2016, the zeal was so fervent, right? You had a few camps out there who were on YouTube, right, who were pushing the truth. You had the old Awaken Israel channel, the HOI channel, that was a beautiful channel. You had the GMS channels, right? You had IUIC, you had ISUPK, right? You had AOC, right? This is back when Chief Ephraim was with AOC, in General Hashard. You had HODC. You had a plethora of camps. You had D Light of Zion, right? It was a plethora of camps out there that were pushing this truth. Sakari was out there. We just were starting to come, into our own. Even the brother Joel was back with HOI, right before he went to Atlanta. It was a small remnant of camps that were doing the work. And it was beautiful to see through the spirit. And it was a lot of sincerity and a lot of truth. It was beautiful to be in this truth. Now that the truth has become worldwide, like the scriptures tell you in Matthew. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get that. So I'm not just rambling on, I'm pulling out precepts as well. Right? So this is Matthew. So I'm trying to click on my screen. Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this was prophesied that we're going to have, all these nations, which is referring to Israel, learning about, being Israelites, learning about our heritage, learning about who we are, right? Whether you be in the western parts of Africa, whether you be in, whether you be in Canada, whether you be in Babylon the Great, over there in the pit, in the UK, Asia, it don't matter where you're at. This gospel is being preached unto the whole world. And we're all witnesses to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, magnifying his name throughout the earth, because we got the internet, we got the prophets out teaching, you got the men who've been laboring 15, 20, 30, 40 plus years, making their election sure. And it was very pure. Early 2016, early 2015, 2017, 2018, right? It was pure. It wasn't a lot of deceit and beguiling and things of that nature, right? Not saying that that's happening now, but we do see that with more sheep come more problems, right? But this is Sirach chapter 27, verse number 1. It says, many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eye away. Right? So many have sinned for a small matter. But when you seek abundance, your eye starts to fade away from serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? You start thinking about cash. You start thinking about increase. You start thinking about paying your bills. You start thinking about making merchant off of Israel. And I'm talking chiefly to the brothers who labor. Let's not make our Father's house a house of merchant. Let's not make our Father's house where you just taking up 30 minutes selling your product, selling something. Let's make everything that we do in our election sure to magnify the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. When we exalt the Lord, we're supposed to do it with all our might. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking any brother's hustle. Any way a brother feeds his family, by all means, do what you have to do. But separate the truth from the truth and the manner from the manner. That's what we're out here to do. Prophets aren't selling when they're supposed to be teaching and edifying. They're not putting their hands out with collection plates. It starts to give off disingenuous. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm pointing anybody out. By all means, do what you have to do to maintain your household or maintain, the school or the camp, whatever you may have. But understand that this is our Father's business. This is the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And we have to handle this not with deceit, not with malice, not with filthy lucre's sake, but with the most purity and walking in the most sincere way that we can edify Israel. Right? This is Sirach 27:2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stone, so doeth sin stick close between buying and selling. So it's sin between buying and selling. Right? Somebody may be trying to get over on. You may have Israel that wants to buy something from. Say you selling shirts. Right? You selling shirts. Boom. You get somebody who buys a shirt. Next thing they do, they cancel the order. Salakia, after they done already sent it. Already sent the order. So now you missing out on that money because that money got taken out of your PayPal, or that money got taken out of your GoDaddy account, or that money got taken out of your Ship It account, whatever it's called. And they still getting that shirt. So it's a lot of sin that's in buying and selling. And we don't want to intermingle that with the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right, let's go to Proverbs chapter 23 and 23. The classic. Now, again, this is a disclaimer. Nobody is being called out and pinpointed in this video. So if you sending this to people talking about, oh, we're talking about you, we're talking about you. You're stirring discourse, you're stirring strife. This is a friendly reminder, a brotherly reminder that we're going to push this truth and not to make merchant of our Father's house. Not to make merchant of our Father's house. And I'm going to get that precept in a second. Right? This is Proverbs 23 and 23. Salaki. Buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So we're not selling breakdowns. We're not selling precept booklets. We're not selling anything. Because the same way we got this truth freely is the same way we're supposed to give it into the sheep. Unto Israel. Unto those who are sincere. Chiefly starting with the elect. And that's where it gets misconstrued. Too many gimmicks. Too many games. Let's teach this truth in pureness and sincerity so we can get the hell out of here. I'm not worried about making merchandise because I'm worried about looking towards Jerusalem. I'm trying to get the hell home. Salakia. Myself and my family included. That's why we do this. I'm not looking to make it big in Babylon. I'm not trying to live in a mansion with 40 different cars out front. Our Father in heaven told us that we have many mansions waiting for us. These mansions here are garbage. Right? Be content with a small cottage. Because there's nothing on the side of the Lord to make a poor man rich. But that's to the Lord's doing. But we're supposed to buy this truth and sell it not. What does it mean to buy? You receive it. You lay it up to heart. You study for the edification for others. You study for the salvation that is waiting for you, if it be the Lord's will. And sell it means that you sell it not. But when you do sell it, it's for no profit. You bring home no money at all. We're not bringing home funds because we got collection plates going around in schools. We got collection plates going around while we out teaching. We doing this freely so that the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua can be preached throughout the whole world so the end can come. And once this end comes, it ain't going to be no, oh, I didn't know. Because you can't take this money with you. Right? Proverbs 11. And I'm going to jump down to verse number 4. It says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death. So the only way we're going to be delivered from this hell that's coming to Babylon the Great, the missiles, seditions, World War III, Civil War, pestilence, all these things that are coming is by righteousness, by doing the works that the Lord commanded us to do. Going to the highways and byways, bidding them back to the marriage, teaching our people who they are, teaching our children the way that they should go so they don't depart when they get older. That's what we should be doing. And the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. Didn't the Lord say by the sweat of our brow that we should get our bread, loosely paraphrasing? Now we trying to take different routes. Now we trying to damn do all this other stuff. Right? This is Salakia. Trying to get it. This is Genesis chapter 3. I'm going to start at 17. And Adam said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, it has eaten of the tree. And that's a lot of problems. Jake, you like to give your wife your strength. Her nagging and complaining your strength. So you start to think about different ways to bring in more money to subdue the bickering and arguing and fighting that's going on in your house. And you mix buying and selling with the truth. That's not how we're supposed to be moving as men of the Lord. It's not how we're supposed to be moving. Men of the Lord, we're supposed to be sincere. right? We're supposed to teach the truth. Let the edification's sake be for the elect first and foremost, and for those who desire learning. And then we move on from there. Now, if you got a product to sell, we got social media. Promote it on social media, right? But these videos that we doing, it's supposed to be about Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Let's let it be sincerely about Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that's just me speaking as a man, because that's just how I feel. And again, I've seen Israel come. I've seen Israel go. You know, Lord forbid, I'm part of Israel that goes, Lord forbid. But I've seen it. I've seen Israel just do nothing but the work. Nothing but the work. And the spirit that was in Israel at that time was so beautiful. Now when money comes along, people got things to say. People making videos, now people beefing. Now you don't have enough money to do this. Y'all just mad because y'all got a one-bedroom apartment you doing your videos in. Didn't they have church in their house in the ancient world? That's the problem. The carnal mind is deaf. And everything that Israel in these last days is starting to think is with carnality. Nobody's moving in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Nobody's moving in the spirit that the Lord has commanded us to move in through the writing of the prophets and apostles. Everything is sensual. Touch, feel, see, smell, taste. Everything is sensual, man. And we're not a sensual people, we're a spiritual people. And if you're truly spiritual, you're going to not intermingle and tangle with the affairs of this life. You're not going to let you wanting that new car cause you to compromise your sincerity in this walk. You're not going to let the affairs of this life compromise your walk with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that's the truth. And that's real. I don't want, like I said, it's not directed at anybody. If I'm going to say something, I'm going to go to them like the scriptures tell us in Matthew chapter 18 and verse number 4. I'm going to them directly. This is just a public service announcement to Israel. For those who receive it, they receive it. For those who don't, you know, Yahweh speed unto them. I'm not going to lose sleep, but I want to keep that mind frame that Israel, we need to continue in this work. Right, let me finish this off. Thou shalt not eat of it. Curses the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. So we're supposed to be in sorrow. I'm not supposed to be a millionaire in Babylon the Great. That's not my lot. If it happens, it happens. So it's sorrow is what we're supposed to eat, because this is punishment. This is punishment, man. We have feast days to rejoice in, but you got to be humble. You have to be humble. So you seek the Lord's face. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. So from the sweat of our face, we're going to eat the bread. So from us laboring, breaking our back, waking up at 6 in the morning, coming home at 6 at night, getting into it with your boss, all these things you have to deal with for the disobedience that we've shown forth at the generation after generation after generation. It's not fun. I hate working. I hate driving these big ass trucks. I can't stand it. I wish I could sit at home with my family all day. Teach my children. Right? Enjoy time with my wife. Go out and teach on the highways and byways. And that's it. But that's not the lot that the Lord has given us. The Lord told us that from the sweat of our face and on our brow shall we eat the bread. And it's going to be defiled bread. So if you're trying to get it any other way, you're trying to bend the scriptures to fit it your way. You bending the scriptures so that you don't have to do X, Y, and Z. If a man don't work, what's going to happen? He not going to eat. That's just the way it is. We are put on this earth to work. When we get to the kingdom, ain't going to be no more work. We ain't going to have to worry about that. You're going to have Ling Ling out there in the field. You're going to have Wooshboo out there in the field. You're going to have Mobutu out in the field. You're going to have, who else? I don't know any Japheth names. Well, Mohano out in the field. They're going to be doing our work. That's our reward. But till that day, let's not make our Father's house the house of mercy. Let's go to John. Chapter 2. And verse numbers. I'm gonna start at 13 and read on down. It says, and the Jews' Passover was at hand. And Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and changes of money sitting. So this is the temple right here. Spiritually, Israel who understands. That's Isaiah the 19th chapter. Israel who understands is spiritually the temple, because the veil was rent. We don't got to go to the priest, to our sacrifice. We got a perfect sacrifice, which is Yahushua. So the way we move amongst Israel, that's how we're supposed to move, like we're in a spiritual temple. Right? Edifying, teaching, showing brotherly love. Right? The priestly works, caring for the lame and the hurt and the fatherless and the widows. That's how we're supposed to be moving. Right? And it's sad to see that. The way that we move in Israel. You got diss tracks. I heard a goddamn diss track about an Israelite camp from another Israelite camp. What type of bullshit are we on now? Excuse my language. But that's just how infuriating it is to see how Israel is moving in these last days, man. It bottles me the hell up to see it, man. Lord forbid that we got another 10 years here. I hate to see the way Israel is moving, man. But that's why a small remnant is going to be saved. Lord forbid he ever put a spirit on anybody who's sincere to do a damn diss track towards your brother. In the truth. And you think it's cool. Yeah, the song catchy. So what? Salaki. So all these things was in the temple. These are foul spirits, right? These are foul spirits that's in the temple. Money changers, right? Sheeps, doves, oxen were getting sold in there. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple and the sheep and the oxen and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables. So the same thing that was happening during the Passover in Jerusalem is the same thing that the Lord is going to do in this near future, Lord willing. He's going to get rid of all those who came into this truth to make money. It was a dude. He just did a video. He made music. He said, man, back in the day in 2015 and 2016, this was the time you made money in the truth. Now it ain't no time. Now it ain't no time to make money. That shows you the mentality and the mind frame of Israel, man. I'm not hearing this truth to make money. I'm not here to exploit my brother or my sister. I'm not here to make merchandise from them or off them. I'm here to push this truth so that my king, our king, can tell me, well done, good and faithful servant. That's all we should be desiring to hear. I will pray. Right? I got a few more and I'm going to close up. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my Father's house a house of merchant, and his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house have eaten me up. So the zeal of the Father's house should be eating us up. Right? We don't have an actual temple now. But when you're dealing with your brothers who are in this truth, when you're dealing with your sisters that's in this truth, you deal with them like we're in the spiritual temple. It's tabernacles. The brother Ariah just did what you hiding in your tent. He did that yesterday. You got to look deep within yourself. What are you hiding inside your tent that needs to be removed as we approach that dreadful day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai? As we approach the time of destruction that's coming to Babylon, is what's in your tent that wedge of gold and that Babylonian garment that's going to have you destroyed like you just a chocolate-covered Edomite?